Good morning. How you doing? Glad you could join us. Hey, how many days is it till Christmas? Well, I've got kind of a Christmas devotional, so this should help get us in the spirit. I saw somebody literally like cussing his head off in a dollar store the other day because there was all this Halloween stuff that was out already. He'd be pretty upset if he knew I was doing this. So anyway, we're going to take a look at two verses from Isaiah chapter 9. And I'm certainly borrowing some ideas from James Montgomery Boyce and his devotional book, Come to the Waters. So in Isaiah chapter 9, it says, "For a child is born to us, a son is given to us. The government will rest on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace." So James Montgomery Boyce asks the question. He says, when he thinks about these gifts, and I'm kind of adding one on from the previous verse about the government, but he says that even apart from biblical revelation, he says, what do you think are our greatest needs? Well, the first thing that I would say, and this is the part I'm adding on, is don't you think we would need like a good government? I would think so. Yeah, I think we really do. But it says here, I look forward to the day the government will rest on his shoulders. I look forward to the day when God's really in charge. I really do. And Jesus one day will be in charge. He came as the lamb the first time. He will return as the lion. And so that is something to really look forward to. Well, Boyce goes on to say, he says, we have minds, so we have a need to know things rightly, to understand. We need wisdom. We also have wills, and because we have wills, we want to achieve something. I think most people do. You feel better when you get something done. Check that off the list, right? We want our lives to make a difference. We do, to do that, we need to have power. We also are individuals, but we sense that we're not meant to be alone. We want to belong somewhere. We need satisfying relationships. We're also conscious of having done things that are wrong. If we're honest, we recognize that. We need to be forgiven. What do you do with guilt? I don't know. What does a person apart from God do with guilt? Anyway, we need somebody to deal with our guilt. And so Boyce just looks at these things that we need, and I already mentioned the government thing. He didn't mention that, but here are the four things. So the first thing is to know the truth. Jesus Christ is the truth. How about it? He's before Pilate, and Pilate says, so, tell me about your kingdom. He's like, my kingdom's not of this world. I came to bear witness to the truth. And you talk about ironic. Pilate's like, what is truth? And Jesus is like, you're talking to the truth, but I'm not going to try to explain it to you. But Jesus is the truth, and he's a wonderful counselor. And what I love to say is, can you imagine going to a counselor where you didn't have to give all the background? So, when I was 4, and my sister, no, you don't have to go into all that. He's the wonderful counselor. He knows all that. To achieve something worthwhile, well, Jesus is the mighty God. He's powerful. He enables us to do things by his power that are meaningful. We have a life of purpose. How about to belong? Well, through Jesus, we're adopted as his brothers and sisters into the family of God. Do you believe that today? That is fantastic news, that we have a Heavenly Father, that we are in God's family. Let that sink in. I know it's hard to wrap our hearts and minds around that sometimes. And how about to be forgiven and to be at peace? Have you ever felt like someone didn't forgive you, they wouldn't forgive you, they never would forgive you, and then they do? It's sweetness. That's the story of Jacob and Esau. When Jacob realizes that Esau has forgiven him, he said, it's like your face is the face of God. Well, Jesus is the Prince of Peace. He made peace for us, bought forgiveness for us by his death. All of this is the Christmas story. These are the gifts of Christmas. Some of them we have fully realized, and some of them we have not yet. May we realize them more and more in our lives. God bless you. Have a great week.